Intelligent people understand that emotions, while natural, are within their control. Instead of succumbing to feelings, they use logic and wisdom to guide their reactions. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we cannot control external events, but we always have power over how we respond emotionally. The true strength lies in mastering emotions rather than letting them control us. In this article, we'll explore 6 things that intelligent people never say and how Stoic philosophy can help you transform your mindset and actions for a more meaningful life. Stay with us as we dive into these enlightening concepts. 2. I'm not responsible for my actions, taking full accountability building on the idea of emotional mastery. The next key mindset intelligent people avoid is saying, I'm not responsible for my actions. This statement not only evades accountability but also relinquishes the power of choice, something that Stoic philosophy places at the heart of our human experience. In the chaos of life, it's easy to blame external circumstances for our missteps. The car broke down, a colleague didn't help, or a friend let us down. But here's the catch. Intelligent people realize that while we may not control everything around us, we do have full control over how we respond. No one else can dictate how you act, react, or make choices. Your actions and decisions are entirely your responsibility. Imagine you've worked tirelessly for a promotion, only to see someone else receive it instead. In a moment of frustration, you might be tempted to say, "It's not my fault," blaming the system, the decision makers, or even the timing. But the Stoic perspective challenges this. Stoicism teaches that every setback is an opportunity to reflect, learn, and grow. Rather than blaming others, an intelligent person would ask themselves, what could I have done differently? How can I improve? The idea is not to victimize yourself, but to empower yourself by taking ownership of your actions. Let's reflect on a personal story. A friend of mine once faced an overwhelming challenge at work. She didn't get a promotion she was hoping for, and initially, her emotions were all over the place. Disappointment, anger, and frustration. It was tempting to blame her colleagues, the leadership, or even the company culture for her lack of success. But then, she decided to take a Stoic approach. Instead of dwelling on what she couldn't change, she reflected on what she could have done differently. She realized that some of the work she had done wasn't as polished as it could be, and that she hadn't built enough strategic relationships within the company. Once she owned those facts, she took action to address them, and within months, she earned a promotion. One she knew she truly deserved. By embracing accountability, you release yourself from the confines of victimhood. The power to shape your future lies in your ability to take full responsibility for the decisions you make. As you learn and grow, remember that intelligent people are not afraid to confront their mistakes, because they know that self-reflection and action are the keys to a better tomorrow. Taking responsibility doesn't mean punishing yourself. It means owning your story and becoming the hero of it. When you stop deflecting blame and start taking charge of your actions, you unlock the ability to change your life for the better. This doesn't just apply to big moments either. Every decision we make, every response we have, holds an opportunity to exercise responsibility and wisdom. By doing so, we move closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. Intelligent people don't hide from accountability, they run toward it, because they know it's where true growth begins. 3. I can't do that. Embracing growth and overcoming limiting beliefs. Building on the previous point of taking full accountability, one of the most powerful things intelligent people never say is, I can't do that. The moment you utter these words, you've created a mental barrier that locks you away from growth and potential. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that certain tasks, skills, or goals are just beyond your reach. But the Stoic mindset challenges us to see every I can't as an opportunity for growth rather than a dead end. Imagine being presented with a challenge or an opportunity you've never encountered before. Maybe it's a new project at work that feels too daunting, or a personal goal that seems too big to achieve. Your instinct might be to say, I can't do that, to protect yourself from failure. But intelligent people understand that growth doesn't come from staying within the comfort zone. It comes from stretching yourself beyond it. I'll never forget the story of a friend who felt trapped in the I can't mindset. She had always been afraid of public speaking, even though she knew it was an important skill in her career. Her internal dialogue was filled with fear, doubt, and the belief that she wasn't capable. But then, one day, she had to give a presentation at work. She was terrified, but instead of succumbing to the "I can't" mentality, she decided to challenge herself. She told herself, "I'll try. I might not be perfect, but I'll do my best." The first few attempts were shaky, and she stumbled over her words. But with practice, she started to improve, and her confidence grew. Today, she's an accomplished speaker who regularly presents at conferences, and she's proud of how far she's come. The Stoic approach encourages us to focus on what is within our control, and often, that means changing our mindset. We may not be born with every skill we need, but we have the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. When we say, "I can't," we're resigning ourselves to failure before even trying. But when we say, "I'll try" or "I'll learn how," we open up a world of possibilities. It's about taking that first step, even when we feel uncertain. Think about all the times you've said, "I can't" in your own life. Maybe it was trying a new hobby, pursuing a dream job, or navigating a difficult conversation. How often did you find that, once you stepped into the challenge, you were capable of much more than you realized? By embracing discomfort and stepping into the unknown, we allow ourselves to evolve. Intelligent people don't limit themselves by saying, "I can't." Instead, they ask, "How can I?" And "What do I need to do to get better?" This shift in mindset can transform the way you approach challenges in every area of life, unlocking new opportunities and unleashing your true potential. Remember, growth lies not in avoiding difficult tasks, but in embracing them with the mindset of a learner. Every "I can't" is just a stepping stone towards your "I can." For "I don't have time," prioritizing what truly matters, building on the idea of overcoming self-limiting beliefs, let's dive into another phrase that intelligent people never say: "I don't have time." How often have you found yourself saying those words, especially when it comes to the things that really matter? The truth is, we all have 24 hours in a day. The question isn't whether there's enough time, but how we choose to use it. Time is our most precious resource, and how we allocate it determines our success, growth, and overall happiness. Imagine this. Sarah, a young professional, constantly found herself saying, "I don't have time" for self-care, family, and hobbies. She was always busy with work, meetings, and day-to-day tasks. Yet, deep down, she felt disconnected from her true passions and loved ones. Her health began to deteriorate as stress piled up, and she felt like she was running on empty. Sarah's life became a whirlwind of obligations, and at the end of each day, she was exhausted, but not fulfilled. One evening, feeling particularly overwhelmed, Sarah stopped and asked herself, "Why do I feel like I'm running out of time?" She realized that the phrase, "I don't have time," wasn't the real issue. It was her inability to prioritize the things that brought her joy and fulfillment. She was investing time in activities that didn't align with her values or bring her peace. So, Sarah decided to take a step back and reassess her priorities. She started blocking time in her schedule for activities that nourished her body and soul, such as morning walks, reading, and spending time with family. She also learned to say no to things that didn't align with her goals or personal values. Slowly but surely, Sarah began to experience a transformation. She found herself more energized, happier, and more present in every moment. The Stoic approach teaches us that we are in control of how we spend our time. It's easy to get swept up in the hustle and bustle of life and fall into the trap of busyness. But being busy doesn't necessarily mean being productive. In fact, it can be an avoidance strategy, a way to mask our fear of confronting what really matters or to justify neglecting the things that bring us true fulfillment. When intelligent people say, "I don't have time," they understand that it's not about a lack of time but a lack of prioritization. They choose to spend time on what aligns with their values and goals. They recognize that time spent in alignment with one's purpose leads to greater fulfillment and success in the long run. It's about making conscious decisions to invest your time in areas that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. We all have the same 24 hours. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have time," pause and ask yourself if you are truly allocating your time to what matters most. Time is finite, but the choices we make within that time are infinite. Intelligent people know this, and they make sure their time is spent on the things that bring them true satisfaction and growth. 5. I can't change. Embracing growth and transformation, building on the idea that time is a precious commodity and how we prioritize it. Let's explore another phrase that intelligent people never say: I can't change. So often, we hear people declare this as if change is an impossible task. Yet change is one of the only constants in life. In fact, the most successful, wise, and fulfilled individuals are those who embrace change, not as a challenge to avoid, but as a powerful force for personal growth and transformation. Take the story of John, for example. John was a middle-aged man who had been working in the same job for over 15 years. He always believed that he was too old to change careers or try something new. He found comfort in the predictability of his routine and thought that pursuing something outside his comfort zone would be too difficult at his age. The thought of embracing change brought him a sense of fear and resistance, so he continued living his life in the same way, feeling unfulfilled. He said to himself, I can't change. It's too late. One day, however, John's company underwent a massive restructuring, and he found himself at a crossroads. The old ways were no longer working, and he was faced with a choice: continue to hold on to his limiting beliefs and feel stuck, or step into the unknown and grow. The idea of change seemed terrifying, but the fear of staying stagnant felt worse. So John took a leap of faith. He enrolled in a professional development course, updated his resume, and started applying for jobs in an entirely different industry. At first, the road wasn't easy. He faced setbacks, rejection, and moments of doubt. But through every challenge, John learned valuable lessons about himself. He discovered hidden strengths he never knew he had, like resilience and adaptability. Slowly but surely, John landed a new role in a career he was passionate about. His journey was transformative, but it required him to let go of the belief that I can't change. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that change is not something to fear, but rather something to embrace. We are not bound by our past. We have the power to choose how we respond to life's challenges. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca believed that change was an essential part of human growth, and that it was in our nature to evolve and adapt. They taught that the key to thriving is not in resisting change, but in aligning ourselves with it and using it as a tool for self-improvement. When intelligent people say, I can't change, they recognize the power of their mindset in shaping their reality. They understand that change isn't always easy, but it's an inevitable part of life. And rather than seeing change as something to fear, they view it as an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and renewal. You see, the most successful people don't stay the same because they are comfortable. They evolve because they understand that growth requires discomfort. They believe that at any age, in any stage of life, it's never too late to reinvent themselves, to try new things, and to challenge the old patterns that hold them back. So, the next time you catch yourself thinking, I can't change, remember that change isn't something that happens to you. It's something that starts within you. Embrace it. Trust in your ability to grow, and watch as it leads you to a life of greater fulfillment and possibility. The choice is yours. Stay stagnant or embrace change and let it transform your life in unimaginable ways. 6. It's not my fault. Taking responsibility for your life, building on the idea that change is possible. Let's dive into another phrase that intelligent people never say: it's not my fault. When we constantly shift the blame onto external factors or other people, we disempower ourselves. Instead of looking at life as something that happens to us, the Stoic mindset encourages us to take ownership of our actions, choices, and attitudes. The more we own our experiences, the more control we have over our future. Think about Sarah, a young woman who had always felt unlucky in her career. She worked in an office environment where her colleagues often seemed to get the promotions, recognition, and opportunities she longed for. Every time someone else succeeded, Sarah found herself saying, it's not my fault. I'm just not lucky. I don't have the right connections. I wasn't given a fair chance. For a while, she believed that her failures were out of her control, that luck had simply passed her by. One day, after another missed promotion, Sarah had a wake-up call. She was having lunch with her mentor, a woman who had been through her own share of challenges. Sarah vented about how she had been overlooked once again. Her mentor listened patiently, but then she asked, "Sarah, do you want to be a victim of circumstance, or do you want to take control of your life?" At first, Sarah didn't understand. She had always assumed her lack of success was due to external factors. But as they talked further, her mentor helped her realize that she had been choosing to blame others instead of taking responsibility for her own actions. She hadn't been putting in extra effort, learning new skills, or seeking opportunities for growth. Instead of owning her part in her career stagnation, she had been giving away her power. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This means that true power comes from how we respond to life circumstances. We may not be able to control every aspect of our environment, but we can always control how we react and what we do next. By saying, "It's not my fault," we give away that power. When we accept responsibility, we regain control. After this realization, Sarah took a long, hard look at her actions and decisions. She began to focus on her professional development, taking courses, attending networking events, and asking for feedback from her colleagues. Slowly but surely, her attitude shifted from one of frustration and victimhood to one of empowerment. Sarah stopped blaming her environment and started creating the opportunities she had always desired. The key takeaway here is that intelligent people don't waste time blaming others for their circumstances. They understand that life isn't always fair, but it's not about fairness. It's about how we handle the challenges that come our way. Taking responsibility is not about self-blame. It's about realizing that we hold the keys to our own success. It's about understanding that, no matter what the world throws at us, we have the power to decide how we respond and move forward. In a world where it's easy to point fingers and play the victim, the Stoic approach is a radical one. It requires us to be accountable for our actions, no matter how difficult that may seem. But it's this very accountability that gives us the strength to change, to grow, and to overcome obstacles. The next time you feel like saying, "It's not my fault," remember that your life is in your hands. By taking full responsibility, you empower yourself to make the changes you want to see in your life. 7. I can't change. Embracing the power of change. Building on the previous point about taking responsibility for your actions, let's talk about the mindset that truly holds intelligent people back. I can't change. This mindset creates an invisible barrier between you and the life you want. It's an excuse, a surrender to the idea that who you are today is the only version of yourself that can ever exist. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that change is not just possible, it's essential. The only constant in life is change, and those who are truly wise embrace it, adapt to it, and use it to their advantage. Let's take the story of Mark, a man who found himself stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction. He had always been a successful businessman, but for some reason, the spark of passion that once drove him had faded. Every day felt the same, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't muster the energy to change his situation. He kept saying to himself, "I've always been this way. I can't change now. I'm too old, too established. Change is just too much work." He felt trapped in the persona he had created for himself, a successful yet tired man, overwhelmed by his responsibilities. One night, Mark had a conversation with his old friend, John, who had also been through ups and downs in his career. Mark opened up about his struggles, sharing how he felt disconnected from his own ambition and energy. John listened carefully and then asked him one simple question. "Do you truly believe you can't change, or are you just too afraid to try?" Mark didn't have an answer right away. He had always thought of himself as someone who could adapt in his earlier years. But somewhere along the way, he had gotten stuck, telling himself that his best days were behind him. The realization was powerful. He wasn't incapable of change. He had just allowed his fear and resistance to take over. In that moment, Mark understood that the idea of being stuck was more mental than physical. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Change is never easy, but it's also never as daunting as we think. The biggest obstacle is often our own mindset. We tell ourselves that it's too late to evolve or to try something new, but in reality, it's never too late to start again. Whether you're 20 or 80, you can always make adjustments and take small steps toward a better version of yourself. It starts with the belief that you can. After this realization, Mark decided to take action. He started small. He read new books, met with young entrepreneurs, and even took up a new hobby, something he had never considered before. Slowly, he rekindled his passion and zest for life. It wasn't about making drastic changes overnight. It was about recognizing that he had the power to evolve, to adapt, and to pursue new challenges, no matter his age or position in life. The key here is that the belief "I can't change" is a choice, a self-imposed limitation. If you let it define you, it will dictate the course of your life. But if you embrace the idea that you can change, that you have the power to reshape your destiny, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember that change is not only possible, it is a powerful force for growth. Embrace it and allow yourself to evolve into the best version of who you can be. Hey there, amazing souls. Dizzy if this video touched your heart and sparked a new perspective. Don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button. Sparkling heart, your support means the world to us, and we truly appreciate it. Drop your thoughts and feelings in the comments. We love hearing your opinions and engaging with this wonderful community. Backhand index pointing down, and hey, don't stop here. There's so much more waiting for you. Dive into our other videos for even more inspiration and Stoic wisdom that will help you grow, change, and thrive. Fire, trust us, you don't want to miss out. We're all in this journey together, so let's keep the conversation going. Stay inspired. Stay amazing. Sparkles.